Then, components of effective communication. What all do we need to learn? What all do we need to have to communicate effectively with others? What is that art? Then we will learn developing active listening skills. Now, it is always said that listen first. Stop and listen. Do not interrupt the other person. Be a listener first, then a talker. Because people need to be heard. People want to be heard. If you're making them feel like that you're listening to them, then they like you. If you only talk and do not listen, nobody likes you. Then comes non-verbal communication. Anything we communicate without words, without using our mouth. It can be our body language, our hand gestures, the posture we sit in, and everything else about the outer appearance. Then comes overcoming communication barriers. Why does it happen that sometimes you think you have conveyed a message to someone very wisely with your 100% effort, but that person has not understood what you're saying, not a word. So we learn about this, how to make the other person understand what you actually mean, what you actually want. And then comes personal grooming, okay, and personal growth through communication. Now, how can you grow through communication? We'll see about this. Let's first know what are communication skills. Before we learn anything, not just communication skills, it's very important how we look at that topic. Do we actually know what are communication skills? So, communication is basically the ability to let the other person know, to let the other individual know what is your message. Now, it's important to know that is your message being conveyed properly or is it being misunderstood? So, your message should be very clear, very precise. It should not be misunderstood and it should be received in the same way that you have sent it, with your thoughts, with the same attitude. All right, so now let's have a quick look on the types of communication so that it gets a free flow to our presentation for the day. Now, the first one is verbal communication. We all know the one we speak through words, how we express ourselves. Now, this one is very, very important because when you meet a new individual, or you're at your workplace, or you're even at a family gathering, you need to speak up. You must have seen some people you're very, you feel like they are so good, they speak so well, they are so clear, they are so charming. उनसे बात करके you feel like, oh, this was wonderful. Why do you feel so? That's an art of communication. That's an art how they speak. Do you really like how they speak? Are you engaged when they speak? So you need to become like them. You need to be that person जिसको लोग देख के बोले, no, I want to talk to that person. So that is the expression through spoken words. How does that come? Now, there can never be a course in the world which can just teach you that this is the verbal communication. Okay, great, you got the certificate. Now, these are your best communication skills. No, this happens from inside. Communication skills become better when you're confident about yourself. Now, why is that? Nobody else is communicating for you. You have to communicate your own message, right? So, communication happens well and good when you're confident about yourself and you are confident about your words. You know what you're saying. You're confident about your language. So, what do we need to do? We need to work on ourselves. Life is very long. We need to be lifelong learners. We need not think that, oh, we are 30 years of age, we are 40 years of age, or we are 60. So, it's time that we stop learning. No. Whenever you find a moment you think that I can learn this new thing, I can change this about myself, go ahead and do that. That is a beautiful thing to do. So gain confidence. If you think that your language is not clear, it can be your mother tongue, it can be English, it can be any other language that you need to communicate in. So learn that. Nowadays, everything is so accessible. Open your YouTube, open your Google, and now even we have artificial intelligence and start learning your language. Start speaking in front of the mirror. See how you look when you speak in front of the mirror. Are your words clear? Are you looking confident enough? All right. And then if you see clarity, we talked about your words should be clear. Tone of voice. This is very, very important. Why do some people prefer calling you over texting you? The reason is when you type, most of the times the tone is not clear. You must be writing a very well defined message, but the other person might be thinking that you're not giving in any emotions, that you might come out as rude. Why? There is not a proper tone, right? So the way you speak, your tone should be appropriate. If you're friendly, then make your tone friendly. Okay, if you have a very straight tone, very rude tone, then work on that. Because even if you don't mean to, the other person is going to get offended, right? And the appropriate language. Now, this is very, very obvious that understand what situation you're in, what people you're with, and use appropriate language. Okay, and I think you should always refrain from using impolite language, using language or words that can hurt others. Again, that all comes with confidence. When a person is confident about themselves, that person is never going to make fun of the other person. Only the person who is insecure about themselves, जिसको अपने अंदर कमी कोई लगती है, only that person can make fun of the other person. Okay, so it's never too late to learn. Focus on your personality. Okay, close your eyes, think about yourself, and try to transform yourself. That is how your communication will be so much better. Now, non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication consists of your body language. How is your body language when you're sitting with someone, when you're talking with someone? Why do some girls get offended in front of some men? Because even though those men don't mean any offense, but their body language is not appropriate enough. It's not very respectful, right? So take care of the body language, how you're sitting. Now it depends. If you're in a casual atmosphere, if you're with your family, okay, fine. You might have, loss of restrictions. But see, if you're in a workplace, if you're outside somewhere, okay, you've gone dining, so your body language does matter, your facial expressions. If you're talking to someone, you're just looking at them and you're giving no facial expressions, even though you're interested. What will that person think? ये तो मेरी बात नहीं सुन रहा है, इसको कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है. So your facial expressions mean a lot for the other person who's talking to you. Like for example, right now the presentation is going on. I can speak. Okay, you guys can see me. I can see no one, I can hear no one. So it is a difficult task to communicate because then you don't know what is happening at the other end, right? The only way you guys can communicate is might be you can type a text, you can type in the chat that this is the problem I'm having or this is my question, all right? But otherwise, facial expressions do a great job. Now, this comes with practice. I always suggest that you try in front of the mirror what kind of expressions you are giving. Sometimes we don't know, we might give out funny expressions. We should work on that. And gestures, your hands. Your hands play a big role. Are you doing like this? Or are you presenting yourself while talking? What are you using your hands for? That depends. If you're giving a presentation, you might want to use your hands to make a point. But your hands also suggest when you're nervous. If you're playing with a pen continuously, when somebody's talking to you, if you are, playing with your knuckles, this might show that you're very nervous. So take care of your hands. Unless and until you're giving a presentation or making a very valid point, just put like this, one hand on the other, keep it in your lap, sit straight. That's all. That's the best hand gesture. And always try not to finger at someone. Now, these are very basic points, but we always forget them. Never pinpoint. Then listening skills. Again, I already told you that listen first. बात बाद में करेंगे. First, listen to the other person. And do you realize when you should speak? Only when you can add value to the conversation. अगर आपको लगता है कि आप जो बात बोलने वाले हैं वो आपकी कॉन्वर्सेशन में कोई वैल्यू ऐड नहीं करेगी या वो दूसरे इंसान के लिए कोई बेनिफिट पैदा नहीं करेगी या उनके मतलब की बात नहीं है और दे माइट नॉट बी इंटरेस्टेड, वो बात आप जबरदस्ती मत बोलिए. Learn to be quiet at times. You might want to be a better listener. That is how your personality develops. That is how your confidence also develops. And that is how you're liked by people. All right. When you listen, you understand their message. आप सुनेंगे ही नहीं and you just keep on waiting कि अब मैं बोलूंगा, इसने बोल दिया, अब मैं अपनी बात रखूंगा. So you're never going to understand their point, right? Then, written communication. Written communication, I'm not covering in detail today because I'm here for verbal communication. But also, we should focus on written communication. Now, what is it? Your emails, your formal emails, your daily WhatsApp messages. आप अपने WhatsApp messages कैसे लिख रहे हैं? Are they rude? Are they well defined? आपके casual conversations with your friends also. How you're writing them. The kind of replies you're giving them. Or are you keeping them on read? Now, these are very basic etiquettes of written communication. So, the basic funda is just make others be kind to others. Okay, never make them feel unwanted or unorganized. All right. If you feel नहीं मैं आज busy हूँ मैं reply कर ही नहीं पाऊंगा या कर ही नहीं पाऊंगी तो आप वो message मत खोलिए unless and until आपको लगता है कि वो बहुत urgent है. If you feel like that message can wait, okay. If you feel like you should give a call because you don't have the time to text, वो कीजिए. But never leave someone in between. Okay. Now presentation skills, how you're delivering your information. That basically works for a workplace. आप अपनी presentations कैसे देते हैं? आप अपनी बात कैसे रखते हैं? How you ask for your increments. Okay. And for students, how you're talking to your teacher, how you're reading your chapters in the school, that matters. Okay, when you're reading in front of the class or you're in a declamation contest, stand straight. Okay, talk your point out. Don't move a lot. Then interpersonal skills. Now, this is very interesting, and this is one of my favorite topics also. Now, interpersonal skills, everybody should work on. They are the most important things. Interpersonal skills नहीं है तो communication skills नहीं आ सकते हैं, writing skills नहीं आ सकते हैं, personality बिल्कुल develop नहीं हो सकती है. Interpersonal skills are the most important kind of skills a person needs to have. Now, what is this interpersonal skills? The way you live your life. Basically, that is interpersonal skills. Do you have a positive mindset? या फिर आप हमेशा ही नेगेटिव रहते हैं? Do you try to look at the positive side of things? Are you kind to other people? And now that depends. Your kindness should not differentiate between a peon and a boss, right? Your friend and a waiter. Respect everybody deserves. Yes, your relations with them might be different. That is a very personal thing, but the respect should not differ, right? Your attitude towards others, how you're talking to them, how you're treating people, how you build your rapport in the market. In the market means in the social area, right? Now, please type yes if you agree with me and if you feel like that you can learn something from this presentation. All right, and then comes emotional intelligence also. Emotional intelligence, what is it? Are you intelligent emotionally? Do you know कहाँ पे कौन सा emotion दिखाना है, किसका कौन सा emotion समझना है? That is very, very important. Okay, manage your own emotions. Know when to cry, when to laugh. You know, when people, there are times, okay, everybody laughs and cries without a reason. Everybody has their moods. But there is a limit. This is for the kids to cry anytime, to throw tantrums, or to laugh anytime. But when you're an adult, जब आप एक adult हो जाते हो, so no matter what relationship you have with the other person, they might be your parent, they might be your sibling, they might be your husband or wife, they might be your friend, but emotional intelligence is needed. Learn how to transform your emotions. आपको कब कितना emotion दिखाना है, and don't suppress yourself, but learn inside yourself how to manage your emotions. All right. Now focus on this point. Are you giving importance to unnecessary emotions जिनसे आपका time waste हो रहा है? क्या आप उन इमोशंस को इंपॉर्टेंस दे रहे हैं? क्या आप अपना खुद का टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं? Do not do that. Life is very short. There is so much out there to learn to transform your own personality. So nobody should be wasting their time on emotions that are not needed. जिनका कोई importance होना ही नहीं चाहिए. So we can always try, to just ignore the negatives of a thing and to look at the brighter side, to look at the positive side. And this is going to benefit you only because this is going to make you a happier person, and a happier person is always a confident person. And again, if you have confidence, your communication skills are good. Now comes cross cultural communication. Now, what is this cross cultural communication? So many times it happens that, for example, if you're at your workplace, if you're in your office, maybe some of your colleagues are not from the same culture. They have a different type of lifestyle, and you might not understand some of the things they do. Some of your friends might be like that, all right? And some of the individuals you meet in your life otherwise can be like that. Now, you need to understand that you need to respect the culture of others, the traditions of others, and also the lifestyle of others. You cannot change anyone, and they are not wrong, first of all. They are just different. Okay, so it's very bad to think that, oh, they are too backward, oh, they are too modern. No, they are not. They are just as they are, they are just fine. दे आर जस्ट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम यू. उनको लाइफ का कोई और तरीका पता है, वो गलत नहीं है. दे आर जस्ट डिफरेंट पीपल. ऑलराइट, सो इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, if you respect their culture, their tradition, their lifestyle, and if you think that it will be respectful enough to maintain that type of dignity with them, that relationship with them, that is going to go a long way. All right. So these were the basics of the communication skills. I hope you all understood what I mean to say, and this will make a free flow for the presentation. And welcome, Sumit. You're just a little bit late, but that's okay. We just started. In a line or two, I'll sum up for you what we already did. So we just started for the objectives of communication skills. We learned what are communication skills, the way we deliver our message to others, and we learned different types of communication. There is verbal, how we speak. There should be clarity and our language should be appropriate. And then non-verbal, our body language, our gestures, facial expressions, hand gestures. Then listening skills. I was telling that we should be active listeners. We should be good listeners first, and then written communication, your emails, your daily WhatsApp messages, then presentation skills, how you're reading in your class if you're a student, or how you're making a presentation at your office. Now, basically, we were talking about interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills, what's your attitude towards life? Are you positive? Are you negative? Are you respectful and kind towards others? These all make your confidence, right? And confidence gives you good communication. Emotional intelligence, how you balance your emotions, and how you respect people from other cultures. All right. Okay. So Sumit, please type a yes if my audio and video and presentation is clear to you so that I can move on. Okay. So importance of communication skills. Now, what is the importance of communication skills? Why do we need them? Effective communication is the foundation, the base of success in various aspects of our life. It allows us to express ourselves clearly, understand others better, and build strong relationships. Now, this is not just a quote. Please look at your screens and try to understand what it means. It's a very beautiful line. Why do we actually need communication skills? सब लोग आजकल communication skills क्यों सीख रहे हैं? It develops your personality. Doesn't everyone want to have a wonderful personality? Don't you want others to like you, others to feel that this person is charming? I want to sit with them and stand with them and work with them. Why not? So when you have effective communication, good communication, आपको अपनी बात दूसरे के सामने कैसे रखनी है. You will be successful. You will be successful in your professional life, of course. You will be successful also in your personal life. There are so many people out there who don't know how to convey their message in personal life. And people always think that they are bad. Why? This is all the game of communication. Once you know how to communicate, it's always a win-win situation, right? Now, it allows us to express ourselves clearly. दूसरे हमारी बात समझते हैं, हम उनकी बात समझते हैं, understand others better and build strong relationships. आपके बॉस के साथ, कलीग के साथ, employees, okay, and your friends, your family, you will have strong relationships if you know good communication. And this is a fact for life. You can check out your colleagues, your workplace, your family. जिन लोगों को भी अच्छा communication आता है, till death they will maintain strong relationships. Next, components of effective communication. Now we already covered this. I'll just elaborate on this. Three main components of effective communication. हमें क्या तीन चीजें चाहिए ही चाहिए जिसके बिना communication पूरा नहीं है. First is verbal communication. Always use very clear and concise language. All right? बहुत बड़ा चढ़ा के नहीं बोलना है, किसी को कोई लेक्चर नहीं सुनना है. Nobody is interested. This is the fact. You believe it or not, किसी को आपकी लंबी चौड़ी खिंची हुई बात नहीं सुननी है. Nobody wants to hear a lecture because everybody is already busy. Everybody has already a lot to do in life, right? So nobody has the time to listen to your lectures. किसी को लंबा नहीं सुनना है. Make it short. Make it informative. In that short line only आपका सारा information cover हो जाना चाहिए. You should be able to deliver your message in a very short form, in a very concise form. You know, they say time is money. Nowadays it is. Everybody is so busy. कोई आपको time नहीं देना चाहता है. And if somebody is giving you time, if somebody is actually taking out time from their schedule and giving that to you, you respect that. How do you respect that? आप अपनी बात अच्छे से कहिए. Use clear language, use concise language, right? If you value their time, they are going to value your time. This is a very clear-cut thing that happens in workplaces and in personal life as well. Pay attention to tone. Now, I already told, please practice in front of mirror. This is the best way to learn effective communication. Check your tone. All right. Are you straight-faced? Are you being friendly? Can people hear a smile in your voice? When you're on a call with someone, sometimes you can't see them, but you feel like a smile when they are saying something. Don't you feel it? So that is the tone. Check your tone. कहाँ पे कैसी tone चाहिए? आप कोई official presentation दे रहे हैं, friends से बात कर रहे हैं, किससे क्या बात कर रहे हैं? And choose appropriate words for different context. Obviously, communication with one person cannot be the same as communication with the second person. Why? Because there are two different individuals, two different relationships with them. दोनों जगह आपको अलग-अलग चीजों की जरूरत पड़ेगी. Right? Okay. Now, non-verbal communication, your body language. Please be respectful of other people. Okay, now there are so many rules. Follow this body language, follow that body language. Okay, now there are very simple things what you need to follow. First of all, work on yourself. खुद के लिए क्या अच्छा होता है? A straight posture, a good body language, you know, a very graceful body language. ये खुद के लिए अच्छा है. दूसरे के लिए क्या अच्छा है? Please see if your body language is respectful to others. आप किसी के सामने ऐसे तो नहीं बैठे हैं, ऐसे तो कोई gesture नहीं कर रहे हैं जिनसे वो offend हो सकते हैं. So you just need to take care of these things and you're good to go. Facial expressions. Again, here comes the mirror session. Work in front of the mirror. See how your facial expressions are. Alright, sometimes people don't mean it, but their face tends to get very tensed when they are working on something, when they are nervous. Try to control that. The other person should not know that you're underconfident or you're nervous. Only you should know that. It's all the game of fake it until you make it. Right? Even confidence is that game. Even happiness is that game. It's all a practice, it's all a habit. And gestures in conveying messages effectively. Welcome, Shelly. So we were doing non-verbal communication. We started off. We have done one slide in which we discussed communication and types of communication. And now we are doing components of effective communication. If you can hear me, see me, and look at my presentation, please type a yes. Now we are doing three main components of effective communication. I covered verbal communication, how you speak, how you use your language, and then non-verbal, your body language, your facial expressions. Try to talk in the mirror. Control your expressions. बहुत ज़्यादा expressions भी नहीं करने होते हैं, बहुत कम भी नहीं करने होते हैं. Okay, balance is key. And gestures. बहुत ज़्यादा हाथ भी नहीं use करने हैं और ऐसा नहीं कि बिल्कुल भी use नहीं करने हैं. You have to use them a little, show your interest in what the other person is talking. Then listening skills. Are you an active listener? Now this is very interesting. Active listening. What is active listening? एक तो होता है सुनना, listening. Active listening is you're not listening to answer them. You're not listening to tell what you want to say. You should listen to understand them. Okay? And if you listen to understand, the other person will know. They will always know. अगर आप नहीं भी सुन रहे हैं and you're just looking at them, बहुत सारे students करते हैं in the class, they just look at the teacher and they are not listening. They are just daydreaming and they think the teacher will not know. The teacher knows. Nobody is an idiot. They know when you're listening, when you're not listening. Then paraphrasing. Now, this is one thing that you all must practice. What is paraphrasing now? Especially in workplaces or in schools and colleges, when you're listening to someone, how do you tell them that you're actually listening to them? And you should tell them. If you're listening, for example, we are having this presentation right now. Yes? So, time to time, if you type something in the chat box, okay, or you give me a feedback that this is going well, or you learned something, or you ask a question. So that is how you're letting me know that you're enjoying my presentation or you're listening to me. आप सो नहीं गए हो. And that is respectful to the presenter, isn't it? And I should also keep asking you all, do you have doubts? Please put in your questions in the chat box. If you can listen, if you can hear me, then type yes in the chat box. So I am being considerate to my audience. So this is being mutual respectful. Okay, so दूसरे इंसान को पता चलना चाहिए that you're listening to them. So when you're talking like in front of people, how do they know? Through your gestures. Maybe you're smiling. Okay, maybe you're nodding. You nod your head a little bit. Okay, and paraphrasing. What is paraphrasing? आप उनकी बात सुन के उन्हीं की बात repeat करेंगे, but in your own words. आपने उनकी बात सुनी, अब आप अपनी बात कहने से पहले उनकी बात की एक या दो लाइन बोलेंगे अपने वर्ड्स में. Why? They will know that yes, he or she listened to me. Now he's adding more information to what I already said. Okay. Now, demonstrating genuine interest in understanding others. ये बहुत जरूरी है. You should make it look like you're genuinely interested in what they are saying. That is how you pay your respect. I hope this is clear. I shall move on. Any doubts up till here, you can please type in the chat box and please type yes if this workshop is going fine for you. Okay. Now developing active listening skills. Again, I already discussed. We'll just read it out. Active listening is a crucial aspect of effective communication. It helps us understand others better and fosters deeper communication. Now, why am I repeating this again and again? This is the first rule of communication skills. Listen first. First rule. Now, what are the strategies? that how can you active listen, maintain eye contact. When you maintain eye contact, you show that you're very attentive. घूरना नहीं है. Eye contact does not mean that you're staring at the other person and you're making them feel uncomfortable. Absolutely not. Also see where your gaze is going. These are basic manners. Okay. Is your gaze too high above their eyes? Then it will look like you're not listening to them. Okay, and staring a lot in the eyes, it will make them uncomfortable. Anywhere down the body parts is very disrespectful. So maintain a very neutral eye contact. Time to time when you're talking, keep on having that eye contact, but a very subtle one. Don't stare, घूरना नहीं है, and don't look here and there. Okay, ज़्यादा देर नहीं देखना है. Just look down a little bit. Don't start using your phone. Okay, so these are just subtle ways to show attentiveness. Practice reflective listening by paraphrasing and summarizing what the speaker says. We already read what a paraphrasing is. You listen to others, you repeat what they said in your own words, just 1-2 lines, and then add your information so that they know that you know what they told you. Avoid interrupting and give the speaker your full attention. Very important. दूसरे की बात नहीं काटनी है. Especially in scenarios जब आपको उनकी बात अच्छी नहीं लग रही है. No matter it is a professional setup, workplace, college, school, home, friend group, don't interrupt. वो कर रहे हैं कोई बात नहीं है. Okay, that is their manners. You follow your manners. You are not supposed to interrupt. Sanoop, you raised your hand. Please type the question if you have any question or doubt. I'll check in the chat box. So, yes, avoid interrupting them. Okay, don't cut anybody in between when they are speaking. उनकी बात सुनिए. नहीं अच्छी लग रही है सुनने के बाद बोलिए कि I do not agree with you or I have a different opinion on this. Now, non-verbal communication. What is non-verbal communication? Our non-verbal cues often speak louder than words. Our body language, our facial expressions, our gestures, they mean a lot. For example, somebody cooked something for you, all right, and you are saying, oh, it's fine, but then you can't stop making faces while eating it. What will happen? That person will know that you haven't liked it. What did your words say that you liked it? But what did your non-verbal communication say? कि आपको खाना अच्छा नहीं लगा है. So what was more important? Non-verbal communication. We have a question. If a person said something wrong in the presentation in office, should we correct him right away or wait for him to conclude the presentation? All right. Very good question, Sonu. So this happens quite a times that we are in office and we want to say that, oh, you're wrong, this point is not valid. उसमें क्या करना चाहिए? Now have respect that the other person is giving a presentation. Okay, let them give the presentation. When it is your chance to speak up or you get a chance in time to speak up, then put a point. And the way you put it also matters. You can't straight away say you were absolutely wrong or this was, something not to say. No. You tell them that I respect your point, I respect your opinion, but I have a different take on this. But let me share a different opinion on this. I think otherwise. So these are some polite ways of telling them that, you have a different opinion or you do not agree with them in a very subtle way. You don't have to be rude. Also, you're asking, should we tell them right away? No. If you tell them right away, that would be interrupting them. Okay. And if you have a custom, probably you might want to raise your hand in the meeting or make a signal, but don't interrupt. बीच में नहीं हमें बोलना है. In between, if they ask any doubts, any comments, तो आप बोल सकते हैं. Or if the presentation is in one go, please wait for the presentation to end. On your pen and paper, just write down that point that I have to speak on this point. I have to mention this point. Okay, wait for the other person to speak because they're presenting. I hope I solved the question. Please type a yes. Please feel free to ask if you have any more questions. Okay, thank you. So, coming back to non-verbal communication, our non-verbal cues speak louder than words. Okay, for example, let's take Sanoop's example. He's talking about a presentation in office. Now you're telling them, okay, you're listening, you agree, but then you're sleeping like that in the meeting. Now, sleeping is your non-verbal communication. That's your body language. Okay, so that is more important than what you say. Now, what are the aspects? Your body language, your facial expressions, and your gestures. Again, work on them. No course, no grooming course can work on them as much as you can. I have seen people spend lakhs of money. They just spend lakhs of money on one grooming course. कि इतने दिन में आपको grooming सिखा देंगे, your personality will be different. What happens? They lose their weight. Okay, थोड़े दिन के लिए उनका grooming अच्छा चलता है. They are sitting very nicely. They are talking very gracefully, very unnaturally. But then you meet them after a month. They're the same. You meet them after the year. They're back same. No grace, nothing. Why? They were just listening to the teacher. They did not do anything on their own. Learning should come from inside. That urge, मुझे सीखना है. जब तक वो नहीं आएगी, no teacher, no coach can teach you. Nobody. अंदर से होना चाहिए. मुझे अपनी personality बनानी है. I need to have a better body language. I think my body language is not good enough. Let's work on it. Let's Google. Let's ask AI what all I can do. Let's try in front of the mirror. Okay, you might even want to keep a chair in front of the mirror. See how you sit. Your facial expressions. Work on them. Try to control them. Try कि बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं हो रहे हैं, पर बहुत कम भी नहीं हो रहे हैं. Always a balance. Same with the gestures, your hands. When you're sitting, are you moving a lot of your legs? Very bad manners. Are you using your hands in front of others' faces a lot? दूसरा आपसे बात करे, आपने उसके फेस के आगे इतने हैंड्स कर दिए हैं. Very bad manners. So these are very basic manners that our parents have taught us when we were kids, but we have forgotten them. These lessons on kindness, good manners, table manners should always be respected. One very important rule for table manners, which comes under non-verbal communication, what is it? If you're eating with other people, even at home, even with your family, when it's a very casual atmosphere, आपने खा लिया है, आप उठ के अपनी प्लेट लेके उठ जाते हैं. Very bad. Let them finish. Let them have their cup of tea. Let them finish. Or let them have their food. बैठे रहिए. No problem. Okay. When they finish, then get up. Alright. Another important rule. When they are eating और आपने खाना खत्म कर लिया है, don't use the napkin and just put it on your plate. Don't make it look so messy that so that the other person also can't eat their food. They're feeling very bad about it. No. Take care of these little things. There is no rule book for that. This all comes from here. Are you mindful of others? क्या आपको दूसरों का ध्यान भी है? Or are you just doing your own thing? And yes, sometimes in a family atmosphere, it might be urgent for you. You need to leave, you have some work, you just need to get up from the table. Say excuse me or say I'm sorry, मुझे अभी जाना पड़ेगा. Something like that. Don't forget to ask them if they want to be served. These are some etiquettes, some polite manners, right? So on the screen, let's see practical tips to improve non-verbal communication. Maintain good posture and open body language. What is open body language? If I'm sitting in the class or an office meeting and I'm sitting with an attitude with like this, like these folded hands. If you can see, I don't know if I'm visible on the screen. So just with the folded hands, you're sitting and you're sitting like this, like a boss. But okay, I'm listening to you. This is closed body language. This means आपको लगता है उसके पास कुछ खास information नहीं है, मुझे सुनना ही नहीं है. I just have to sit here because my boss told to. Very bad. Next time you will present, they are going to do the same with you. Have an open body language. Open body language means you're smiling, you're nodding. Okay, you have a positive mindset. Your positive mindset also reflects on your face, right? So all these things, how you're sitting, are you moving your legs or not? Turn towards them a little bit, whoever is talking to you, whoever is presenting to you, उनकी तरफ मुड़ के बैठिए. Don't show your back. That is open body language. Use appropriate facial expressions to convey emotions and engagement. आपके जो facial expressions हैं, वो जो emotions show कर रहे हैं, emotions तो show कर रहे हैं, पर क्या वो appropriate हैं? Are they appropriate enough according to the place you're sitting at, according to the audience you have? You need to see that. That is called being flexible. You know, when you're sitting with your family or you're sitting in a bigger family gathering, you have guests at home, okay, you have a presentation in the office, you're sitting with an employee for lunch, all right, you're in your college, you're attending a class in school, you are at your tuition center. So what kind of facial expressions you have, how you are engaging with them. Utilize gestures to support and emphasize verbal messages. Verbal messages जो हम बोल के करते हैं. Okay, welcome Anvi. We were just doing some practical tips to improve non-verbal communication, and we are on the point that how to use our gestures with the hands. Okay, use them wisely. Again, no rule book, use your mind. Be mindful of others. Right? And when you want to make a very important verbal message, very important message you want to give out, a little bit of hand is needed. अपना point बनाना है, but the way you're using it matters. ऐसा नहीं करना है. Again, right? Moving on. Overcoming communication barriers. Now the problem we all face sometime or the other. Even coaches face this. Communication barriers, what are these? When there is a restriction, when you think you have fabulous communication skills, still some barrier is coming. आप दूसरे से communicate कर ही नहीं पा रहे. How to overcome that? How to tackle that? Let's see. Communication barriers can hinder effective interaction. Common barriers are language differences, misunderstandings, emotional barriers. Now we are in India, right? And it's been so many years, but unfortunately, it's still the same. Hindi, English, or your mother tongue and English. Always at a clash, always at a fight. Why? Why do you think that speaking English is modern and speaking Hindi is being backward? Why Hindi speaking people humiliate the English speaking ones, and why English speaking people think that, Hindi ones are down? Why? Why is this difference? It is just a language. It's not a rocket science. It's not a very big deal. You speak one language, I speak another language, that should be fine. But what is this language difference then? Have you seen people who will know Hindi, but they will speak in English in front of people who do not know English, just to show how smart they are? That is blunder. Nobody is going to talk to you ever again if you do that. Nobody is going to like you. Type yes if you have ever met such a person. Yes? So, this is so bad. So bad. Jab you know the language of the other person and you know they do not know English, why do you want to talk English over there? It is just a language. English is not proving your wisdom. How is this proved? With your with your knowledge, with the kind of life you lead. Knowledge is being kind to others. Knowledge is not being rude to others. Knowledge is not being putting others down. दूसरों को नीचा दिखाना is not knowledge. That is zero education. Right? So this is language difference. So when you're communicating with others and you know that they are comfortable in a certain language, try to talk in that language. आप छोटे नहीं होंगे उससे. Right? Also, sometimes happens we meet strangers, we meet people from different states जिनमें सच में language difference होते हैं. हमें उनकी language नहीं आती है, उनको हमारी नहीं आती है. Try to find a middle ground. Middle ground, you understand? बात सिर्फ communicate करना है. Nobody is giving you marks for language 100 on 100 that आपने बिल्कुल सही ये language बोला है. No. It's all a matter of communication. ओके थोड़ा टूटा फूटा वो बोल सकते हैं, थोड़ा टूटा फूटा आप बोल सकते हैं. जस्ट बी रिस्पेक्टफुल, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड ईच अदर. एंड नाउडेज यू हैव योर फोन्स, ट्रांसलेट्स एवरीथिंग. बेस्ट थिंग. So do not let language differences come in between you at this age where you have Google, internet, AI, everything. Right? Then, misunderstandings. What are misunderstandings? You are getting to know something from a third person. Okay, you are in the office and you tell your colleague something, and then they are telling a third colleague, but that message did not went through the same way. आपने कुछ बोला था, आगे message कुछ और गया. What happened? Misunderstanding. Wherever possible, where you supposed to deliver the message, do it yourself. Check what the message is going. Okay, avoid misunderstandings. Talk directly. Emotional barriers. What is the biggest emotional barrier? Can you tell me? Anyone? The biggest emotional barrier is when you think I am perfect, there is nothing left for me to learn in this life, and whatever the other person will say, that either I already know or that holds no importance. That is the biggest emotional barrier in the workplace, in your professional, personal life, everywhere. Stop doing that. We are all lifelong learners. Again, communication skills will come when you have interpersonal skills, when you're kind to others, when your attitude towards life is positive. Don't put this emotional barriers. You do not know everything. World and knowledge is huge. Nobody knows everything. Right? Then, practical solutions. What are the practical solutions? How do we overcome these three barriers? Language barriers. Use simple language. Okay, no need to use fancy language. Even the writers, if in the presentation I have someone who writes or who wants to write, or even your daily emails and your WhatsApp messages, if you know fancy language, no need to use that. That will be used when time comes. Maybe in professional aspects, maybe somewhere. Otherwise, when in daily communication, you're talking to someone, you're communicating, please use simple language. Okay, you know the awards for the best articles, best paragraphs, best speakers, who they go to? The people who use the simplest languages. आप सबसे famous speeches YouTube कर लीजिए, उनकी speeches सुनिए, कोई fancy words नहीं है. You will understand the entire speech. You don't have to use a dictionary. Why simple? It makes an impact. दूसरे जने को अगर समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है, they have to open the dictionary to understand what you're saying. What is the use? जितने में आपके words का impact जाना था, उनका time तो dictionary में लग गया ना, या बात समझने में लग गया. So use very simple language. No need of fancy words. You can learn fancy words, but no need to use them here and there. Ask for clarification. You think you don't understand anything, you think you have a doubt, feel free to ask. Especially students. If I have any students out here in the presentation, never feel ashamed to ask questions in the school, in the class, from your friends, from your teachers. from your seniors, anybody you think can help you, from your parents. When you grow up, you realize I wasted a lot of time not asking questions. Asking questions is the best you can do for yourself. And again, you can ask questions in the presentation in the chat box if you have any. So always ask for clarification, right? And encourage open dialogue. What is encourage open dialogue? You have you gone to a party? I think everybody once in a while has gone to a party, right? What happens? You say, "Hi, how are you?" The other person will say, "Fine, thank you." Maximum they will ask is, "How are you?" Baat khatam. End of conversation. This is closed dialogue. What is open dialogue? How you make a conversation with someone. You're giving them a chance to speak something. You say, "Hi, how are you? I saw your work, it was so good," or "You're doing so good in life," or "You're looking so beautiful. Uh, where did you get your dress from?" Something like that. Or "Your styling is always so good." This encourages open dialogue. Okay, give them a chance to speak. Make a conversation. If you make a conversation, if you're the conversation opener of the party, what are you? You seem like a confident person. You're the charmer of the party. Everybody wants that this person I should meet in the party, or this person should definitely come today. Then misunderstandings. Practice active listening. ध्यान से सुनिए. Don't listen to just put your point out there. ध्यान से सुनेंगे, बात समझ आएगी, misunderstanding नहीं होगी. Again, even at professional places, not just personal life, in your office, with your colleagues, with your students, with your teachers. Ask clarifying questions and give constructive feedback. Now, what is constructive feedback? You let them know. If you think something can be improved, please feel free to give a feedback, but in a subtle way. Don't be rude, right? Give your feedback always. Like, for example, at the end of this presentation, you can give a feedback that I like this, but I did not like this point, or we could have covered some other topics. Because we all are humans, we all can miss things, we all can do wrongs. So, feedback is always appreciated. Then, emotional barriers. Show empathy. Now, who knows the difference between sympathy and empathy? Can you please tell me in the chat box with a yes? Sympathy nobody wants. Sympathy means उस पे आप तरस खा रहे हो कि oh, what is your condition now? A person who is right in their brain will not want sympathy. जिसका ये काम नहीं करेगा उसको sympathy चाहिएगी कि oh, now I'm sick, people should give me sympathy, or I have a financial loss, people should give me sympathy. The people with less brains do that. If your brain is working fine, you will not ask for sympathy. Empathy is a good thing. Sympathy is a bad thing. You know sympathy now? What is empathy? You don't pity them. तरस नहीं खा रहे हो, but आप उनकी condition समझ रहे हो. You're understanding their condition. You're putting yourself in their shoes, that what they might feel, how they might feel, how they might react. Will they like this? Will they not like this? This is called empathy. Validate emotions. Somebody is coming to you, a friend is coming to you, and they're saying, "Today I'm so sad, you know." And you're saying, "ये तू तो हमेशा sad रहता है, अब क्या हो गया? कुछ नहीं होता, चल पार्टी करते हैं, ठीक हो जाएगा." What are you doing? You're invalidating emotions. You are telling the other person in a way कि तुम्हारे emotions का कोई importance नहीं है. No matter what, let's be happy. No. Understand. Try to talk it out if possible. Right? And create a supportive environment for open conversation. Again, very important. Your environment should be very supportive. Right? Now, personal growth through communication. That is the last chapter to cover in this presentation today. How can we personally grow? Now, before I come to personal growth, the last topic, Any confusion or any questions or anything you want me to tell more about communication, communication skills, learning communication, anything? You can please type in the chat box any questions so that I can move on for personal growth. All right. There seem to be no question as of now. You can please type, and whenever I see the chat box, I can reply back. So I'll start with the personal growth for now. Now, what is personal growth? Personally, you understand? अपने अंदर से जो growth आती है. Are you growing personally? Now, this is not a philosophy presentation I'm giving you, trust me. This is like a skill. If you want to learn communication skill, अंदर से ग्रोथ होना जरूरी है. अगर अंदर से आपका कोई ग्रोथ नहीं है, you have no knowledge of yourself, of the world, how do you think will you communicate well with people? अगर आपको कोई समझ ही नहीं है, so there is no way that you can communicate well, talk well, listen well to other people. No, it is not magic. So to develop skills, to succeed in life, I would say, even at your workplace, people who succeed in the long run, I'm not saying short term success कि कोई एक project में उनको success हो गया है. No, people who are successful in the long run in life, always when you sit with them, try to notice. It's always good whenever you're meeting people who you think you can look up to, who have good personalities. Nothing wrong in learning from them. उनको ऑब्जर्व करिए, उनको देखिए, उनसे सीखिए कि ऐसे क्या है कि वो इतने खुश रहते हैं, ऐसा क्या है जो वो इतना हमेशा ग्रो करते रहते हैं लाइफ में, कुछ ना कुछ नया करते रहते हैं. बिकॉज दे आर ऑलवेज ग्रोइंग पर्सनली. हाउ डज दिस पर्सनल ग्रोथ कम्स? with the acceptance that we are lifelong learners. Lifelong learners means हम जिंदगी भर कुछ सीखते रहेंगे. You can be a corporate person, you can be a businessman, a businesswoman, you can be a student, you can be a teacher, you can be a homemaker, you can be a child. तब भी आप कुछ सीख सकते हैं. Learning never stops. Personally अंदर से grow करिए. Keep on learning, keep on honing your skills. Keep on improving your skills. Okay, try to analyze. I always insist on this point. The first hour after you wake up in the morning, make your routine. Very important. All the adult people out there, if you have a routine in life, you will succeed. जहाँ कहीं आपका कोई phase आता है that your routine is not fine, there you will see a decline in your growth. And back when you come to your routine, you see success. So the first hour when you wake up, 60 minutes after you wake up, that should be your personal, very personal. Personal as in, try to stay quiet at that time. Because you have just woken up. There is a lot of good energy that surrounds you. So stay quiet at that time. Okay, you can meditate or whatever you want to do, if you're getting late, do your work. But that 1 hour should be all your own. किसी और के लिए वो नहीं होना चाहिए. आपको लगता है अगर कि in the family or wherever you are living, somebody might need you in the morning, okay, and you have some obligation, some responsibility towards them, तो फिर आप 1 घंटा और जल्दी उठिए. Because that 1 hour you need for yourself, very, very important. You can look at out of the window, you can look at your plants, grow some pots at home, or meditate, think about the work you're going to do, write in your diary, आज मुझे ये काम complete करना है. And not only for working professionals, even homemakers, write down आज मुझे घर पे ये काम complete करना है. So that 1 hour when you give yourself, what will happen? That time you will get time and energy to analyze कि मैं क्या क्या अच्छा करता हूँ लाइफ में, क्या क्या बुरा करता हूँ लाइफ में, क्या क्या मुझे चेंज करना है, क्या क्या मुझे इम्प्रूव करना है. When you start improving like that, your personal growth happens from inside. Try to look at the brighter side of life. This is a habit. Nobody is born happy. कोई खिलखिलाता हुआ नहीं पैदा होता है. Everybody, when they are when they are born, they are always crying. Happiness is a skill. एक आर्ट होता है. कोई सिचुएशन, कोई पर्सन आपको हैप्पी नहीं कर सकता है. It is a habit. If you are suppose not happy, try to tell yourself, no, I'm happy. Try to keep smiling. Fake it until you make it. आप 10 दिन प्रैक्टिस करेंगे टू बी अनबॉदर्ड बाय समथिंग. 10 दिन प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, नो आई एम हैप्पी, आई एम हैप्पी, आई एम हैप्पी. इवेंचुअली इट विल बी अ हैबिट. कुछ भी हो रहा हो, वट एवर सिचुएशन, you will say, no, no, I am happy, it's not bothering me, I will work on it because it is my duty, but it is not making me worry, it is not bothering me. Why? Because I have this genuine habit of being happy. This is all practice. Your confidence is practice. आप डर रहे हैं, आप नर्वस हैं, but you keep on telling yourself, no, no, मुझे दूसरे को नहीं दिखाना है. I am confident, I will act as confident. You see a difference in a month. In a month, 30 days only, आप सच में कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाएंगे. You will no longer have to act that you're confident. So all these good habits come with practice. Nobody is born with it. कोई अच्छा बोल रहा है, a good speaker, they are not born with it. Again, practice. Keep on practicing your skills. Keep on growing. कुछ नया करते रहिए लाइफ में. Look for experiences. Do not look for materialistic things, but look for क्या एक्सपीरियंस आज मैं नया कर सकता हूँ, क्या खुद के लिए कुछ नया सीख सकता हूँ. Right? So that all comes in communication. You keep on doing something. When you meet someone, you will always have something new to tell them, new to talk about. You like meeting people who always have something interesting to say, who always have nice things to say, who are always happy, who are adventurous, who want to live their life and they make you also happy. Or do you like to hang out with people who are always crying, always sad? Be that person everybody wants to hang out with. It is your own responsibility. Nobody can teach you that. So effective communication not only enhances our relationships, but also contributes to our personal growth and development. It changes our entire personality, overall personality. For your workplace, for your personal life, you will be a whole different human being. और जब ये चीजें होती हैं, ये growth होती है, success will come to you. It is impossible that success will not come to you if you do all this. Right? Effective communication can promote personal growth, building self-awareness and emotional intelligence. We discussed emotional intelligence, self-awareness. आस पास self-aware रहिए. Don't be so ignorant कि आपको पता ही नहीं है आपके आसपास क्या चल रहा है, क्या नहीं चल रहा है, किसका कैसा मूड है, क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, मैं कहाँ पे हूँ, मैं कैसा बिहेव करूँ. Be self-aware. Know what you want to do at a certain place. Strengthening interpersonal skills and empathy. Empathy, now we know interpersonal skills, your attitude towards life, attitude and treatment of others, respectful of others. This is not just in saying that it is a good habit to respect people who work for you, or people, you're going to a restaurant and you're disrespecting a waiter. This does not show that you're the boss of somewhere. This does not show that you're high in life. This shows how low you're in life. That you probably have seen nothing good and then suddenly you're seeing something good and you are disrespecting the other person. That is the worst you can do to others and to your own personality. Developing confidence and assertiveness. Confidence, how do you develop? I told you. You develop it on your own. Keep thinking you are confident enough. No need to be afraid. Why you are afraid? What are you afraid of? दूसरा इंसान वही है जो आप हैं. मैं वही हूँ जो आप हैं. वो भी वही है जो आप हैं. Everybody is just different. They are not good or bad or better than you. They are just different. No need to be afraid of any situation, any person. You be confident in who you are. Learn to love yourself. And you will be confident then. And assertiveness. अपनी बात ऐसे रखिए that the other person can't say no. You don't have to be a dictator. अपनी बात मनवानी नहीं है. But if you know that you are right, if you know you're saying it right, आपकी बात सही है, put it in a way that is powerful. And sorry, what is a powerful way of saying things? Short but powerful, right? जितना आप शॉर्ट रहेंगे, जितना आप पोलाइट तरीके से बात करेंगे, वो चीज उतनी इम्पैक्टफुल होगी. इफ यू आर शाउटिंग, येलिंग, वो assertiveness नहीं है. दैट इज नॉट पावर. पीपल विल थिंक दिस पर्सन इज मैड, ये तो चीखता ही रहता है, इसकी नहीं सुननी है हमें. बट इफ यू आर पोलाइट इनफ, if you're powerful enough, people will listen to you. बॉस को चिल्लाने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. गुड बॉसेस, इफ यू वर्क एट अ वर्क प्लेस, आराम से अपनी बात कहते हैं, बट उन्हीं का डर होता है कि मुझे डेडलाइन पूरी करनी है. बॉस हैज टोल्ड मी टू. दैट इज द पावर ऑफ स्पीकिंग लेस but speaking it in a polite manner but powerful manner. That is what we have to learn. Again, try in front of your mirrors. Practice and application. How can you practice and apply what you have learned? सब कुछ आपने सीख लिया है, समझ लिया है कि कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स ऐसे हैं. मिरर के सामने भी प्रैक्टिस कर लिया. एवरीथिंग यू हैव डन. नाउ यू थिंक, okay, now I know what are good communication skills. But then you go out in the real world. Zero. कुछ नहीं होता है. सब सीख लिया, कोर्स भी करके आ गए हैं, but now you're going to a party. Again, you're not able to speak up anything. Does this happen to you? Say yes or no. Write in the chat box that you learn a course or you learn a skill. आपको लगता है आप perfect हो गए हो, but then comes the real world and zero. Why? Again, practice. Apply करना है उसको. Apply कैसे करें? Just, go with a focus. Again, I will repeat, it is all the game of fake it till you make it. और फिर वो reality बन जाता है. घर से निकल रहे हैं, सोच के चलिए, आज मुझे इस तरीके से बात करनी है, आज मुझे ऐसे बैठना है. This is how I will react. कोई nonsense बात होगी, आज I will not react to nonsense. Today I will only talk good. Today I will not gossip about people. Today I will have a good posture in my class. Today I will make eye contact with my boss. आप सोच के जाइए. You will think of 10 things to do. And when do you think of these things? That 1 hour for yourself in the morning. That is when you think these things, that positive things. क्योंकि तब आप अकेले होते हैं, आप तब उठे होते हैं fresh. आप 10 चीजें सोचेंगे, तब जाके एक अप्लाई कर पाएंगे on that day. When you think of 10 things in the morning, then you will be able to do that one thing. But that's okay. One thing also, if you change, that will change your entire personality in 30 days. 30 days, I'm saying the maximum. You will start to see a transformation in yourself in a week or two. But do it. You have to do it. You can take this class, you can take 10 other classes on social media. But if you don't apply that, it will be zero. So think of these things. आप रोज 10 चीजें सोचेंगे. You will go out in the real world. You will apply one thing at least. फिर धीरे धीरे क्या होगा? आज ये चीज अप्लाई की, कल ये चीज अप्लाई की, परसों वो कोई और चीज अप्लाई की. Then it will be a collection of things that you have applied. Right? You are giving a message to the universe, to the people, without saying, subconsciously, that this person is changing. कोई तो बात है, इसकी पर्सनालिटी अच्छी हो रही है, ये तो बहुत चेंज हो गया है. Don't you meet some people after some years and then you say इसकी पर्सनालिटी तो बहुत अच्छी हो गई है? कैसे होती है? It is not overnight. Overnight कुछ नहीं होता. किसी ने कोई कोर्स कर लिया, किसी को बहुत अच्छी जॉब मिल गई है और उनकी पर्सनालिटी चेंज हो गई है. No. They are successful because they have a positive outlook of life. They practice that one thing every day out of the 10 things they thought. And then one day comes that you no longer need to think in the morning कि आज मैं 10 चीजें अप्लाई करूंगा या करूंगी. वो automatically हो जाता है. That automatically happens because now that becomes your habit, that becomes your nature, that becomes you. वो चीज आप खुद ही बन जाते हैं. That becomes your entire personality कि ये इंसान ही ऐसा है. And let me tell you a secret. The most perfect people you are seeing out there, जो आपको लगता है कि this is what I want to be, they also have their drawbacks. They have things lacking. Only they know them. But you know the good thing about them? That when they go back home after the party, they try to improve on those things. They are not just sitting there and saying कोई बात नहीं, अब मैं तो ठीक हूँ, मैं change नहीं करूँगा या करूँगी. No. They're going back home and they're changing them. This is called practice and application. Right? So this was my presentation for today. I really hope that this could be useful for anyone attending this workshop. This can bring a change in your day to day and in your life. It makes an impact. Please type a yes in the chat box if this was helpful for you. Please type any questions, anything you want me to discuss, any doubt that you have. Okay, thank you, Sanoop, for your yes. I hope this was really useful for you. Thank you, Anvi. Anybody wants to ask anything? Okay, all right. I think we have no questions here. Then I thank you all for attending this workshop. And yes, Sanoop has a question. Yes, please, Sanoop. You can type in the questions. And I had a wonderful session with you guys. I also enjoyed taking this presentation. My name is Ayushi, and you can send me your emails at thegoodlead@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram at the rate of thegoodlead underscore. And I teach English over there. I teach communication skills. I'm also a writer. So you can go ahead, check my work if you like, and if you want any classes, any sessions, any corporate meetings, you can contact me. Can we get this PPT if possible? Okay, why not? I will once the presentation ends, uh, I will send you the PDF or the summary of this presentation through this email, and you can keep in touch through the email if you have further questions. And another question, how to respond to a person who ill treats you often and if he happens to be your boss or a senior. Sumit says thank you. Coming back to Sanoop's question, very good question. So many times in life what happens is there is some senior or somebody elder to you or at a bigger position at a workplace, पर वो आपको अच्छा treat नहीं करते हैं. You think you are being disrespected, but you can't say anything. कि आपका जॉब चला जाएगा और they might be offended or increment नहीं मिलेगा. What to do? So see, first of all, analyze your priorities. You should know your priorities. If you think that your priority is self-respect, which I think should be, unless and until the worst case scenario, आपका पहला जो चीज होनी चाहिए आपके लिए प्रायोरिटी इज योर सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट इन पर्सनल लाइफ ऑल्सो इन प्रोफेशनल लाइफ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आप अपने आप को दूसरों को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं? यू नो, मेक योर बाउंड्रीज. बी फ्रेंडली विद पीपल, बी वेरी लविंग, बी अफेक्शनेट, एवरीथिंग, और मे बी वेरी गुड विद योर बॉस, बट वो एक बाउंड्री बनाना सीखिए इन अ वेरी सटल मैनर that nobody can take advantage of you, your kindness, or the work you do, or advantage of you being quiet. And this comes with personality building. Have you seen those people जिनकी personality ऐसे होती है आप उनके आगे कुछ बोल नहीं सकते हैं? Why? And they are good people, they are not rude people. They know how to make their boundaries. First thing this. Second thing, to be very clear about your question, if your boss is ill treating you, make a very subtle point. For example, Your boss says something in particular and you don't like that. हंसना नहीं है. Out of nervousness or shame, हंसना तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. If you're disrespected, listen to them. Don't be rude, don't shout, don't yell, don't fight, but make it a point to tell them. Say, sir or ma'am, I'm sorry, but I do not like this comment about myself from you. Or sir or ma'am, I'm sorry, I cannot do this work because I think that this does not come in my job or under the work that I have to do, under the task that I have to undergo. Say it very politely but firmly, in a very powerful way. Disrespect nahi karna hai, but put it out like there. Jab you feel disrespected or ill-treated by another person, it is very important that that person should know that you felt disrespected. अगर उनको पता नहीं चलेगा, तो या तो उनको पता ही नहीं है कि वो ऐसा कर रहे हैं जो आपको बुरा लग रहा है, और अगर आपने नहीं बताया then that is your fault. या फिर they know that they are disrespecting you. Welcome Sukham, you're so late. We almost ended our presentation. So yes, I was talking about या तो उनको पता ही नहीं है, then that is your fault, you're not telling them. But maybe they know, maybe they are disrespecting you and they think that this person is sitting quiet, तो हम इसको तंग कर सकते हैं. Never let that happen to you. Be your boss, be your anything, make your self-respect your priority. Your self-respect is your entire being, your personality, you as a whole. 60-70 years के होके हमको ये नहीं सोच रहे हैं कि हमने किसी का फालतू में सुना था which we did not deserve. No, nobody deserves that. Be kind, but love yourself. Respect yourself enough to take a stand for yourself. In a very polite manner, tell the other person, I'm sorry, sir, I do not agree with you. I'm sorry, ma'am, I did not like this comment on myself. I would please like if we do not talk like that again. I would please like if we do not do this again. Does this answer your question, Sunu? Or is there anything I can elaborate for you? Yes, okay, thank you. And somebody just joined. I am so sorry that you got late. We just ended this presentation, but obviously you registered for this presentation. I would not like for you to get it a waste. So I will make sure that I send through the summary or the presentation to your email. Anybody would like to have any questions or any summary or anything, any data, they can email me on this. It is on your screens, or they can contact me on Instagram for further sessions. All right. Okay. I wish everyone a good day, and that was all from my side. Thank you. Thank you, Sumit. Thank you, Sanoop. Thanks a lot. It was wonderful interacting with you people. Thank you, Anvi.